Hi guys, I did question 2 and 3 for chapter 4 Essentials. Question 2 says, create a visual depiction or description of reading fluency relationships to word analysis and comprehension. I gave a brief description of what reading fluency is. Checklist is all about accuracy, rate, expression, and punctuation. Word analysis is the process of using the relationship between spelling and pronunciation at the letter, syllables, word level to figure out unfamiliar words. Word analysis also refers to the knowledge of meaning and spelling of prefixes, root words, and suffixes. Word analysis instruction can be very effective in helping beginner readers learn to read with understanding. When I teach modified academic curriculum for ELAR, and one of the big parts is many of my students cannot decode words. They do not, when it comes to a big word and they don't know it, they will just either make up a word or skip over it. I've tried to have them break down the syllables and sound it out like unbelievable. They can do it that way. Another way was write it in a book, in one of their notebooks, and look it up in the dictionary. When they look it up in the dictionary, it will also tell them how the syllables, it will tell them the letter sounds on how it's supposed to sound, and for the pronunciation, and the definition. Comprehension is the capability of understanding something. My students need to understand what they read, so weekly I have them spend 15 minutes a day reading, and after they are done reading, they are to write down the main character, the setting, a major conflict that had happened, a resolution if possible, and that way I understand they're knowing what they are reading. They do also need to put, if they saw any words that they did not know, they write that down. And then at the end on Friday, we work on what did we learn about in our books. So together, reading fluency, word analysis, and comprehension, they all have the ability to make students a better reader. Question 3 is create a recording where you discuss the characteristics of non-fluent readers and 4 characteristics of older non-fluent readers. As a teacher, name 2 strategies or combinations that you would implement to help non-fluent readers complete lengthy reading assignments. I found this chart. In this section, it tells you what fluent readers can do and why. Over here is what non-fluent readers can do and some strategies. Students who cannot decode properly could deal with the writing the words down that they're unfamiliar with, and then looking back, and let's look at syllable wise and break it down. I place a lot of time for my students to identify words, and then we go back and it'll become a vocabulary lesson. So providing intense word study support, having that time where you spend on unknown vocabulary, expand their vocabulary. Oral reading, I did put it over here for oral reading activities. Many of my students who are unable to read, many of my students are 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, but read on a 4th grade level. They cannot read orally. So I tried to a little bit bring that in, and that kind of helps them because then they're hearing others and they're hearing themselves. Providing grammar worksheets also help because then they're learning more of how the words are supposed to sound, how they're supposed to look, and I think that's a great thing that all students need to have.